From Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good evening, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas, alongside of my partner, Shanley teacher, Mr. Geffrey, as we get set for North Dakota high school boys soccer action as the Shanley Deacons get ready to take on the Chanhassen Storm. Well, folks, before we get to this game, we just want to take a minute to say it is good to be back. It's been far too long since we've been on the air. Of course, we were gone for about a 3-month summer hiatus, but we're back, and we've got a great game to start this fall sports season off with. We're going to get into this game. Should be a great one, but before we do that, we're going to have a brief word from our sponsors, so let's go to that now. But don't go anywhere. Like I said, great game coming up in just a minute.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, Ed's Marine and Storage, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Forum Communications, Haley's Hope, Kochman Brothers Homes, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, Moore Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Shields, and TCI Insurance.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School Boys Soccer Action. Like I said, I'm Jed Thomas, joined by Shanley teacher, Mr. Geffrey, for what should be a great soccer game here between the Shanley Deacons and the Chanhassen Storm. Our first broadcast of this year, Mr. Geffrey. I think we got a pretty great game for this first broadcast. Chanhassen, real strong team. Shanley, of course, a perennial power in North Dakota. I think we're going to have a pretty close one here tonight. How about you?
I think the rainbow sitting over the stadium is about to give us a bit of pot of gold right here.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Of course, it poured a couple of times before this game started, but that led to a beautiful rainbow. We don't have it on the camera right now, but a nice little rainbow stretching out over the field. The field is still a little slick from that rain, and it should stay that way for a while, given that this is turf. So it might be a bit slippery out there for a while for these guys, but I don't think that's going to stop us from seeing some great soccer. Let's get into it here, though. Let's get a little preview of both these teams. Starting on the Chanhassen side of things, they're coming up from the cities to start off their season here against Shanley. They're 0-0, so this is their first game of the year. Chanhassen was 14-4-1 last year, and they made their first appearance in the section title game where they lost a nail-biter. From last year's team, though, they've lost 8 of their starters and 35 of their 41 goals, so only 6 goals combined between their returning starters. For Shanley, last year was a rebuilding year for them after a team that lost a heartbreaker in the state championship the year before. Shanley made a bit of a surprising run, made it to the state tournament, and made some noise there. They're looking to do the same thing this year as they've lost some strong players. A lot of youth on the Shanley team, a lot of promise. I think this year we're just going to see if that youth can step up right away or if they need a year or two to adjust. Right now, Shanley is 0-2. They haven't scored a goal yet on the season. How important do you think this game is for the Deacons' confidence, Mr. Geffrey?
I think that if they're going to establish themselves as a team, they need to score and need to score at least one tonight.
Absolutely. I think right now they're just kind of lacking some identity on offense. They've got a very strong defensive core between Luke Noah, Owen Mears, Joe Mickelson playing on that back end. Those are 3 very experienced guys. But like I said, a lot of inexperience up front, so it should be interesting to see if they can maybe find their identity tonight. The guy they're going to be relying on up front, though, is going to be Kai Nellermo from Park Christian. The senior is going to try and step into a bigger offensive role this year, so there's a name to watch up front for Shanley.
The goalkeeper this year, do you know how many saves he has so far?
I do not know the number of saves for Cam Hoff, but he was also the starter last year. Some injuries kept him out of a few games as we start things off now. Cam Hoff, though, very reliable goalkeeper. It's just going to be about what the team in front of him gives him to work with. So with that, we're off as Chanhassen will take possession to start here. Huge game for them, of course, their season opener. We're really going to see what they're all about, like I said, after losing 8 starters. Right off the bat, some good battling here between both teams. but Chanhassen is going to bring it across midfield, getting a little bit of a breakout right now. Varsity bringing it upfield. He'll pass that one off to the far side over to Jimmy Reed. Reed going to send it up. A little chip pass finds its way to the far side as the Storm look to set up, and then that one's just going to be knocked away. Nice defensive play that time.
We're going to have a throw in from the side over there near the corner kick, but it's going to be a throw in, so that's a benefit.
Yeah, good opportunity here for Chanhassen. As, like you said, it's going to be right near that corner kick area. And Chanhassen, right off the bat, they're coming out hard on offense. They made a great drive across midfield. Good job getting some penetration into that Deacon zone.
Deacons clear. Not very well, but they clear it out some and bring it back to the half field.
Yeah, and Chanhassen does a great job just setting right back up. You see how they give that ball back to their defense, kind of get it out of harm's way, and then take a minute to set up again. If they can keep doing that, that'll tire Shanley out. You know, if the ball gets cleared, that's one thing, but if you can recover from a clear like Chanhassen just did there, that goes a long way to really kind of negate the impact of it.
We have, there's the Deacons have gotten the ball, and they are struggling to keep it right now.
Yeah, as Nellermo goes back, and then that one's just going to be checked off that time by Oden. Landon Oden, just a freshman, getting some serious playing time for the Deacons so far this year, as we've got another throw-in coming on the far side.
We've got Deacon ball right now.
Oh, yeah, it looks like that will be Deacon ball. Reed thought that was going to be Chanhassen. Not the case, though, as Mickelson throws this one deep down into Chanhassen territory, and Reed will give chase. Going to check that one off back to his goalkeeper, Noah Nielsen.
It looks like the Deacons are really keeping an eye on their defense right now. They don't want to overstretch their offense. So I think they're just going to let Chanhassen just tire themselves out a little bit.
Yeah, for as strong as their defense should be this year, they have given up 9 goals in their first 2 games, and that's just a number you can't have. So I certainly think the Deacons are going to be trying to get that defense set up right off the bat. Once they get that secure, then they can start thinking about making a little more noise on offense.
Yeah, 9 goals is a huge number in 2 games.
Absolutely, and now we got some pressure here for Chanhassen. Great job that time by Danny Brown to get in there, make some noise, but stronger defense this time from the Deacons as they'll get a partial clear. Now it's Landon Oden looking to bring it up. He had a man on the near side. It was Nellermo, but that pass has just a little too much on it.
Yeah, they had a great opportunity there. They had a chance to get the defense on their heels, and there wasn't enough people to go up the side of the field to help them out.
Yeah, the Deacons really haven't crossed about that 25-yard line in Chanhassen territory. Have to get to that eventually here, but only about 3 minutes in. Nothing too bad so far. Often they start off a little slow and kind of find their form as the game goes on. That's been kind of a calling card of Shanley the last couple seasons as Chanhassen looks to go right back to work. Morley going to give that ball off on the far side over to Reisenauer. That one going to be chipped around at midfield as Chanhassen continues to advance. Moving in, that ball was intended for Claggett. He couldn't quite get to it, though. Mickelson going to try to close out on the far side. The corner is taken. A quick shot on goal. And right off the bat, Chanhassen takes the lead. An excellent little pass in there to Braden Sanders. Sanders able to chip that one in. Not quite sure who gained the corner there on Mickelson. That's a tough break, though, for the Shanley defense. You saw Mickelson in position. It was just a little too much speed on the edge that time.
Yeah, there was he was number 12. Ducklow was coming in off the side.
Okay, Ducklow.
And then he passed it off to the center. And your guy in the middle.
Yeah, that was Sanders.
Off.
Yeah, good finish there from Sanders, too. I mean, it was an empty net. You'd think it's a gimme, but he really ran out of space there. He had to get low and get his feet on that quick. And that's not the best start for Shanley, obviously, giving up a goal right off the bat. But, you know, that's the thing with Chanhassen. No one really knew quite what to expect given the fact that they lost those 8 starters. And I think we're quickly seeing that this program can replace and move on pretty easily. That ball checked downfield and then just headed away that time by Oden.
Out of bounds by Deacon, so Chanhassen ball.
Quick throw in here, finds its way over to Klein. Klein trying to play it forward. Loose ball midfield now. Reinholtz will pick it up. Evan Reinholtz crosses the 50, trying to hook up with Dew that time. Popped up into the air. Loose ball tracked down by the Chanhassen D.
Well, they're starting to put some pressure on that defense, and it's made some benefits. We have Deacon ball deep in the territory.
Yeah, certainly that goal got to be a wake-up call here for Shanley as Odin gets the ball off the throw-in, but an even better play that time from Stephen Klein. Klein picks it up, and then he'll give off over on the far side, able to find Jimmy Reed. Reed trying to hook up with Brown. That one doesn't quite connect.
And there's Ducklow again on the side. Oh, he lets that one go out, though.
And you could see Mickelson. He saw Ducklow headed there, and Joe Mickelson was ready for round 2 that time. You know, fool me once, shame on you. Joe Mickelson wasn't going to be fooled twice. Mickelson trying to send this one up the far side. It's headed right back as Chanhassen continues to dominate time of possession here.
It's looking like, again, the Deacons are really trying to really heavily play their defense. They're not really. Oh, that was a mistake there by the defense. They let him pass. Should have backed up a little bit there on Joe Mickelson's side. But that was also a great pass from the middle, from the center.
Yeah, really pretty through ball that time, trying to hook up with Gavin Ducklow, and already we've called his name so many times. You can really see Ducklow's main asset back there is his speed. He got behind the defense, like you said, and I think it's just his acceleration. You know, you think you've got him 1 minute, and then, like, you blink and he's gone, and that's what Ducklow's really doing to Shanley right now. They're going to have to get on top of him more.
Yeah, they you know, they're playing him pretty close, but not. They're playing the offside pretty close to him, and a couple of times they've been burned down.
So the Deacons trying to clear out of their zone here. Ball fought for it around the 35. Now going to be checked up to Bohm. Bohm for Shanley. Nice little move to get through midfield. Another good move as Mason Bohm continues to advance this ball. He's going to have it stripped, though, by Jack Anderson. Anderson gives back to Lang. Lang now back to the near side to Giles. Giles, he'll give that one straight off to Claggett. Claggett now over to Brown. Brown working against Reinholtz. Strong play there by Reinholtz to protect his zone. Nellermo now looking to give that one off to Odin, and it's sent right back downfield by Jack Anderson.
We've got they're looking like they're just tentative on offense. They are making some good moves, but then they're not really expecting the moves to work. So they're being very tentative about how they continue upfield. I think if they were to just take the ball and just move with it, they might actually get Chanhassen on their heels a little bit.
Yeah, it certainly seems like they maybe lack some of the confidence in years past, and I think a big part of that is they don't necessarily have that number one goal-scoring threat. Last year it was T.J. Anderson. The year before that, of course, it was Jake Reinholtz. About 3 years before it was Jake Reinholtz. So, you know, Shanley's kind of used to having their guy up front, and they don't quite have that this year. It's more goal-scoring by committee, and I think they're going to have to figure that out here in these upcoming games if they want to be successful. Good pressure there that time by Dew, trying to make the situation uncomfortable back there for Reed.
Yeah, he just got beat out just a little bit by I can't see the number over there, but it was a great opportunity.
And Dew, of course, it's really impressive considering he played football the last 2 years and is just now playing soccer for the first time in high school.
Yeah, that was Jimmy Reed over there on the far side. Oh, we have a center. We have a break here a little bit.
Yeah, good little opportunity for Shanley as Odin's going to pop that one up. Nellermo with the header, trying to hook back up with Odin. Here goes Landon Odin, going to put it too high, but at least they're putting some shots on net.
That was a shot on goal, and yes, it was a little bit high, but that was at least an attempt at offense, and that's what we need. We need some kids to take a stand at some offense.
And so here's another player they're going to try to get some more offense out there. That's Noah Lance. He hasn't played organized soccer in a long time, not in his high school career. He's a senior this year, and he just joined his senior year. He's one of those guys they're just going to try out and see what he can do up front. He's had some success. Of course, hasn't found the back of the net yet, but we'll see if he can be the spark for Shanley. Good.
Yeah, as I suspected, Chanhassen, if we put them on their heels, they would start throwing up some balls, but now they've gotten one through. They were able to get a ball deep into our side, so we have an opportunity for Chanhassen again.
Yeah, and that was Danny Brown that time. This is his 5th year playing varsity soccer for Chanhassen. He was able to cut through the middle of the Deacon defense. Good play, though, by Mason Bohm. He didn't quite have the speed to compete with Brown that time, but he does have the bigger frame, and you saw him throw that weight around to kind of get Brown off the ball there as we got a throw in here that's easily steered aside by Bohm. Not going to be a full clear, though, for the Deacons, so Chanhassen will look to set up now. Threatening, a good header that time, came from Claggett. Wasn't able to connect with anyone, though. Ball chased down on the near side and kept in play. Chanhassen going to keep their foot on the gas now as Lang moves in. Lang with a little no-looker, finds Claggett. Claggett with pressure on him from behind. That's Oden. Claggett, great pass through the legs of Nellermo, but then it's taken away by Oden and sent upfield where Nielsen should be able to send it right back.
Nellermo had an opportunity there. He just wasn't able to pull it down. We do have Reinholtz, and now Dew is chasing it down. He might be able to get this one.
And there you can see that speed from Chanhassen.
Yep.
I mean, it rolled out of bounds anyway, but Jimmy Reed was able to catch up to Dew from behind. And I think that's been maybe the most noticeable difference between these two teams. It sure seems like Chanhassen has a lot of speed, and Shanley seems to be having trouble keeping up with that.
Well, yeah, all of their team members seem to be in really good shape. And just able to put the gas on when needed.
And so Luke Noah now usually playing defense is playing
there's
up
a nice
in the middle
shot
of the field. Here's Lance, and Lance could not get it on.
That was a good opportunity though, and he had a good shot. Just went wide. I think maybe some nerves from not being able to not playing for so long.
Right, and I think they were caught off sides there too. But boy, Noah Lance and Luke Noah there, that was a 2-on-0, I believe. So a tough missed opportunity there, as I think they were caught off sides. And like you said, Lance didn't quite get the right play on the ball. But I think it's just good to see, anything going on in the Chanhassen zone there for Shanley.
Yeah, because then it keeps them honest. They can't play so many people forward, and it keeps the defense from sneaking up and playing offense.
And so I was saying earlier, Luke Noah usually playing that defensive position. He's playing up now, kind of in more of a midfield center role. And that's in an attempt to try and spark the offense. Noah's certainly one of the best players on this team, a starter since his freshman year. They're going to try to get him involved both in defense and offense, kind of asking a lot from one of their senior captains here. But I think that's going to be necessary for the Deacons.
That was a good clear out by our man on the left side there, on the far side. I wish they would put the numbers on the front and the back. Don't you?
I do believe they are on the front just a little small there.
Oh, yeah.
But no, I know what you mean.
My old eyes are not going to catch those, sorry.
Far side of the field, tough to catch, absolutely. So now we got a throw in here from Danny Brown. Brown gets that one on the Shanley net. Good header, though, from Owen Mears.
Good clear out. Back to center field, which is and there's a miss by Chanhassen.
Yeah, they've been trying to get back to their defense when those clears happen. It worked every time. That time the pass doesn't quite connect, and Nellermo does a good job chasing it down, keeping him honest. But Chanhassen going to go right back to work now. Yeah,
they're doing a lot of passing, similar to Spain soccer.
There was a good cut there from Luke Noah. Going to try to put the pressure on. Just couldn't quite get there in time, but that's what you get when you move
was
Noah
a mistake
up.
by Chanhassen. He tried to pass it off, and he missed. And it was a good opportunity, but can't always get every opportunity in soccer. That's why scores are 1-0.
And that's another area where Noah's really going to be able to help in this game is the speed. In training camp, he was the fastest man on the soccer team as timed by the coaching staff, and he seems to be able to compete with Chanhassen in that department at least. So good opportunity there that doesn't quite connect. Brown playing that one back, and then it's going to be intercepted by Oden as he goes across over to Reinholtz. Reinholtz pulls it back. Good job getting some pressure off, and Dew with just a little jab pass that couldn't quite hook up with Reinholtz, but it comes right back to him.
This is some of the best soccer I've seen so far. Shanley has really put the hammer down and has tried to get some offense going here. And with that foul behind, it gives Shanley an opportunity to get people downfield and really get a good shot on goal.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's kind of the calling card of Shanley, at least these last couple seasons. Pretty slow starts for them, but it takes them a while to find their groove, but when they do, they've been competitive. So, Chanhassen's going to have to stay on their toes here. I don't think the rest of this game will go as smoothly as it had been going, or as it has been going.
Yeah, they are letting them play a little rough. I thought there was a foul there. Jersey grab pulled him to the ground. I thought maybe there'd be a whistle, but looks like they're letting them play a little bit.
Yeah, they are letting them go. Maybe part of that, taking into account how wet that turf still is, you certainly get a few more. You get guys falling a bit more than usual, so some things may look a little worse to the eye. certainly a part that would play in, as that shot is off the crossbar, just barely over, but an excellent job that time as Chanhassen just continues to find windows from all over the field. That shot fired by Varsity.
Yeah, that was about 2 feet too high because that hit the crossbar for the football uprights and bounced off, thank goodness.
Yeah, as now Dew will track it down on the far side. Can't quite get there in time. And so it'll be a throw-in for Chanhassen. Jimmy Reed, we've talked about him a lot. He's really been dominating on that far side. They're really strong over there between Reed and Ducklow. Those two have really locked it down over there, although Shanley has done a better job containing them as the game has gone on in fitting with that narrative like we talked about. The Deacons have just continued to improve here as they've gone.
Yeah, we have in the center, Chanhassen has, there's a nice fight in the middle over the ball. And
Noah tried to spring Odin that time, and Odin got eclipsed that time by 2 midfielders from Chanhassen, as now they'll look to turn the attack back towards Shanley. Got to watch out here, as there comes that speed of Chanhassen once again. Hoff will have to play it over on the near side, to Noah Lance. Lance trying to track it down. He's in a battle with Giles, and an excellent box out that time from Giles as the ball rolls out of bounds, although they will say last touched by the visitors. Throw in deep into Chanhassen territory. Headed forward by Morley and then played by Lang off the foot of Lance. Should be out of bounds off the Deacons. That will be the call.
We have throw in on the near side here. I can barely see it through these the tight seating in the booth here.
Lang, the man on the throw-in. That ball headed forward by Dietz. Scrum right in front of us here as Noah Lance will come away with it. Lance trying to give off to Luke Noah, and then it's poked forward nicely by Morley. In trouble there. That time was Evan Reinholtz, but he was able to get out of it, although the pass intended for Dietz is just a bit too far in front of him.
We have a quick throw-in by Chanhassen. And
great opportunity as Brown has been sprung on the near side. Brown making moves. Mears just a bit better that time, though. Owen Mears with the excellent box out. Shanley not quite out of trouble, though, as Chanhassen will let this one roll out. Quick throw-in here. I think they're going to just try and keep the pressure on.
Yep,
Ben Giles on the throw-in, and it'll be poked right up in the air that time by Varsity. Varsity in a scrum there with Luke Noah. Quick back and forth here. Good passing from Chanhassen in tight windows as Brown goes straight back to Varsity. Varsity looking to set up. Looks around, and he'll just have to give back to Lang, who moves in now. Lang, his ball won't reach its intended target as the Deacons get the partial clear.
Yeah, the partial clear gives them just a little bit of a breather. But Chanhassen is really putting the screws on right now.
Centering pass won't quite find anyone inside. Nice header that time as the Deacon defense continues that bend, don't break mentality. And a good move that time by Brown won't amount to anything as the ball goes just wide left.
Yeah, he shanked that one. But that opportunity there was set up by all that very aggressive play in the front here.
Yeah, and we talked about Shanley, how they were kind of turning things around and evening things out. I definitely feel like Chanhassen sensed that as they've really kind of put the hammer down, like you said, and they've put the pressure back on the Deacons.
The Deacons now are struggling to keep the ball in center field, and Chanhassen is just able to win them over just with a little bit better ball handling.
Varsity now had a man streaking downfield. That time it was Claggett who was open. Couldn't quite hook up with him, but once again they maintained possession.
I think that would have been offsides. I think he was just a little too fast on the trigger there.
That is a good point. Sometimes that speed can come back to bite you a little too fast, like you said. I think you're right. That would have been the case as Cam Hoff will cover that ball up.
Yeah, they tried to go down the right side again, the far side again, and it was just a bit too far for their fast guy over there, Ducklow.
Noah has it in the middle of the field. He'll give that one off, able to find Dietz. Dietz has that ball intercepted, though, and now here goes Brown. Brown with space, able to get through. Brown all alone for the easy goal, and that makes it 2-0 Chanhassen.
I do believe that's 2 for him, Jed. And that right there was that was pretty much all Brown.
Yeah, Brown really doing it all by himself. Like you said, it was actually Sanders who had the first goal, but Brown was heavily involved, and he's been everywhere in the middle of the field. Definitely a name we've been calling a lot. And in a quick update here from Shanley football, they're out playing in Jamestown. Pick 6 has given Jamestown a 7-0 lead with 6:57 left in the first quarter.
Okay. Well, good for them, but Deacons, we want them to come back.
Absolutely, Mr. Geffrey. And that should be a good battle. Jamestown, I think, certainly the underdog out there, but, you never know. It's the first game of the season for both teams, and you don't know what a team's made of till the season starts. So Jamestown trying to make a statement out there on home turf.
The Shanley Deacons here for the other football. You can definitely tell that you have a lot of young players out there. They're just not handling the ball as well as some of the more veteran players on the Chanhassen side.
Absolutely, and you go down the list. You look at some of the names we're calling. Landon Oden. There's just a freshman playing a huge role, and not even maybe so much youth as inexperience, like you said. Yeah, it's a lot of guys who haven't played.
Yeah,
Lance hasn't played. Yeah, I mean it's just. Funny circumstances. Not too often you have so many those guys on a team like this, but that's where Shanley's at. And so it's really not too surprising to see that they're off to a slow start this season. But there's still a lot of time left in this game, only down 2-0. Let's see if this can be the game where they turn it around as Hoff with a beautiful save got the hands up.
Nice save there, yeah, and they've got it cleared out as well. Looks like Lang picks it up and can't quite clear it up front, and Deacons are keeping control, and looks like they might be able to make a move here.
Noah tried to get that one across midfield, but back comes Chanhassen. They are relentless, as now that one will be sent forward by Bohm, and Chanhassen going to play it safe, going all the way back to Noah Nielsen, who will give off to Lang.
Yeah, you can see it on the defensive side. There are 3 Chanhassen players standing amongst the 4 defensive players, and there is 1 Shanley player in amongst the 4 defensive players. So definitely Shanley is playing on their heels, and when they were playing a little more aggressively, getting more people up front, I think we had more Chanhassen back behind. Oh, there's a good play.
Nellermo going to try to win the race to that one, but Nielsen is too quick out of his own net there. Lance couldn't quite get up for the header as that one will go out of bounds off of Chanhassen. Back on the Shanley side, about 30 seconds, though, you saw a play they tried to set up to Ducklow, the speedster on the far side we've been talking about. Mickelson did a great job keeping up with him and getting back there. The one thing you can say for Shanley, at least, is that they seem to be learning from some of those mistakes. Mickelson did a great job of knowing where he was on that play.
Yeah, and that right there is what they need to keep in mind is they're going to try and send more people behind like that, and if they can keep that kind of play up throughout the season, they'll get their opportunities, and they'll be able to clear a few down in the offensive end.
So 18:07 remaining in this first half. Chanhassen got on the board about 4 minutes into this one with a quick goal, and then at about the 22-23 minute mark struck again. They continue to put the pressure on here as Shanley is just trying to find their offensive identity. They had something going earlier, but that was only a couple-minute stretch. They really haven't sustained anything as of yet.
Again, when the Chanhassen has picked it up in the center, and
yeah, that was Stephen Klein pulling off a real nice play over the head of Noah that time, as now Chanhassen looks to set up. Errant pass, though. Noah able to track it down. Good job boxing out. Now he's going to try to spring Lance. Here goes Noah Lance. Again, the speed too much. That time, great job by Nielsen coming out of his own net, along with Giles, who got the edge.
Yeah, Lance just, I think, was tripped up just slightly, and if he had gotten just that extra little push, he could have beaten the goalkeeper to the ball. The goalkeeper came dangerously far out of the box.
Yeah, a little risky play there from Nielsen. It pays off that time, as now Varsity has it for Chanhassen. Works it over to Giles. Giles centers that one. I don't think anyone was quite sure who it was intended for, as Brown is going to try to get on top of it. Brown will now leave it off over to Morley, who couldn't hook up with Reed, as the ball will roll out off the Storm.
So that was a bit more aggressive play, and that allowed let Chanhassen make some mistakes, and I think that's what Shanley needs to do, is continue the pressure.
Loose ball in midfield here. Deacons trying to advance it forward. Good play that time, though, from Lang to just dump it right down into the Shanley zone.
Yeah, Will Wilson in the center there ended up with a great play. But then he was a little tentative on taking it even further. So I think as play goes on, he might get a little braver and be able to take that upfield better.
Yeah, and he's certainly one of the players Chanhassen will count on. He's one of the few returning starters from last year, so they're certainly going to be depending on him.
Substitution for your Chanhassen.
We have a throw in, and now we have a substitution.
Yeah, that's Max Van Bergen checking in for the Storm. Jorgen Dietz will also come in for Shanley as Luke Noah makes a great play up to Lance. Noah Lance moving on the near side. A great defensive play, though, from Morley as Lance goes down. Nellermo trying to keep the pressure on. He's able to take it away. Lance going straight back to Nellermo. They're playing a little bit of keep away here. Nellermo now curling back around, trying to center, but we got a whistle. And it looks like we're going to have a foul called against Chanhassen.
That is going to make a great opportunity for a score. We're going to have a free kick in range here. So we'll see. It looks like they're going to have a throw in instead.
Yeah, maybe they're saying it. Well, no, you were right. Yeah, it's a free kick.
It's a free kick.
And so this should be Shanley, maybe their first big opportunity of the game. Let's see what they can do. Dietz on the free kick, centers towards the net, and it's just expertly defended by Chanhassen. Dietz going to try to salvage it. A little spin move there. Able to work his way around one man, tried to get it to Lance. Lance sent it right back. Dietz let it roll out of bounds. Chanhassen doesn't think they touched it, but that's not what the refs will say. It will be a corner. And it looks like that's going to be taken by Drew Beiswinger, the freshman.
This will be the first corner of the game.
Yeah, and this is going to be huge for Shanley as Beiswinger loads up, sends it in towards the goal. Deacons looking for the header. They got a head on it, but that's all
they had a head, and they had a shot by Lance, I do believe it was, but it was just wide.
Lance has been there for a lot of plays. He just has not quite been able to finish, and that's really been the problem for the Shanley offense. They've been getting there, just not putting the ball in the back of the net, as now Brown makes a beautiful play on the far side. He hooks up with Jimmy Reed. Jimmy Reed emptying the tank, closing in on net. Oh, man, what a goal from Reed! With about an inch of space, he sneaks it into the top right corner.
That right there was a play like you see in the Premier League. That inches over the hand and inches from the corner, from the sidebar. It was a beautiful kick.
I don't know if there's anything more Shanley could have done to defend that. I mean, they had him. They were closing the gap. Reed just gave it everything he had. And like you said, you don't see that play very often in high school soccer.
No, I think that it does demonstrate, though, the speed of Chanhassen. They have some legs, and our guys were doing their very best to catch up with them, and he was just pulling away.
An update from the football game going on in Jamestown. It is now 7-7 after one quarter. Haley Buckles with a 71-yard touchdown to even the score.
Way to go, Haley.
Of course, University of North Dakota commit Haley Buckles, and yeah, that's good news for the Deacons, able to even things up early on.
Where is he going?
He will be going to the University of North Dakota to play football.
UND?
That's the case, yes.
Oh. I'm sorry, I'm an NDSU grad. It just makes me sad when I hear UND.
Our apologies to any UND fans out there, although I'm sure,
sorry, UND fans.
I'm sure you Bison fans are enjoying that. So 13:34 left to go here in the first as we're back to the game at hand. Again, it is 3-0 after that beauty of a goal from Jimmy Reed. And now Noah Nielsen looks to check this one down. Thought he was going to give that one the boot. Instead, he'll just give it over to Christian Lang. Lang now on the near side over to Feliciano. Feliciano lost it out of bounds. And no one quite knows who's got the ball. It will be a Chanhassen ball here, as now looks like Lang will throw in.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Chanhassen was unsure that was their ball, but I think maybe they either got away with one or the lineman didn't see it right.
Owen Mears with it for Shanley. That pass was almost jumped. Beautifully read that time by Van Bergen, just maybe a half second late as the Deacons now try to get something going on offense. Nellermo was right there, but again, he falls just a few inches short of that ball.
Yeah, the goalkeeper is taking a lot of chances. I think that if we had just a little bit more speed, we could have had a nice goal there right over top the head of the goalkeeper, who came out all the way to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Nielsen, he's played really risky all game long, but it's been paying off for him because he's been getting to that ball before the Deacons can even get a shot off. Like you said, taking a chance there, but so far it's paid off.
Yeah, we have a clear out by number 9.
Yeah, that's Morley. He had Dietz closing in on him, but again, Morley, just that speed from Chanhassen's too much. He gets there first. It will be a throw-in, though, for the Deacons. Going all the way back to Mickelson. Mickelson will try to set it up, going across to Noah. Ball took a little bad spin that time and was intercepted, so Chanhassen has it now as Klein is at midfield. Klein trying to set up on the far side. He had Van Bergen. Van Bergen couldn't get quite back to it. It is Reed on top of it once again. Centering feed, trying to find Brown. It's too strong and bounces over the head of Kyle Stitch. Stitch able to track it down now. It's taken by Klein. Klein with it at about the 20. Trying to get that one over to Van Bergen. Van Bergen couldn't get his head on it, but he does come up with it once again. That possession battle is just really favoring Chanhassen.
Yeah, they are challenging every ball. They are challenging every side, and they have 3 goals because of it.
And that one will roll out of bounds. Last touch by Shanley, so we'll get a throw-in in the Deacon zone. Another good opportunity here for Chanhassen.
Van Bergen is going to throw that one in. No, it's going to be Reed that'll throw that one in, and the Deacons look to defend. We have a good clear out by Chanhassen. Thank you very much.
And now it looks like they're going to bring it right back in. That time it was Anderson putting the pressure on. Not much going there for him, though, as the Deacons will get a clear from Stitch. Stitch up to Nellermo. Nellermo, big collision with Lang that time, and Anderson comes away with it. Anderson curling around at the 50, past the 45. His pass broken up partially that time by Beiswinger, and then it will roll out of bounds, last touched by Beiswinger.
I was really surprised on how much aggression they're allowing these high school players to, especially with all the talk about concussions and such. They really are allowing some collisions that I'm not sure would be allowed many other places.
Yeah, it's tough. Every game's called different. I think that is sometimes just the nature of high school soccer, especially in the early parts of the season when guys are still kind of getting into it. I think you see the play clean up a little bit as they get towards the end of the year, although sometimes when playoffs start up again, it can get
it
physical again.
Yeah, it is. And some of that isn't always aggression. It's just a matter of not having enough ability to stop on a dime.
Absolutely.
And that sort of thing.
Kind of regaining your legs for the season.
Yep.
As this ball is loose in front of the Shanley net, Owen Mears makes the smart play that time and just clears it away.
I do believe that's going to be a throw-in for Chanhassen on the near side here.
And they've been getting a lot of those. As of yet, though, no corner kicks for Chanhassen. A little bit surprising given all the action in the Shanley end.
Felicino is going to throw that one in.
Yeah, Feliciano now for Chanhassen will be the man to throw it in.
We have Lance is going out, and
Braden Altringer going to check in as well for Shanley. He's another one of those players where he was playing football the last 2 seasons. Now as a junior, he's joined soccer for the first time in a long time. So Feliciano with the throw-in, immediately headed forward by the Deacons. Just out of reach of Altringer. Chanhassen trying to set up.
Oh, man, just great ball handling by Chanhassen. Just went right around 2 Deacon players.
Yeah, Vasagi almost got that one through all by himself. Just caught it the last second, couldn't quite get it through. This one popped up, loose ball, headed forward. Good defensive play by Mickelson. Morley has it, though. Nobody at home there on the ball from Morley, but it's going to be picked up now and sent forward to Brown. Brown with it. Nice little no-looker, almost, but no. Tried to hook up with Van Bergen that time. Passed it off the back of the foot. Mickelson is there for Shanley. This one popped forward again by Chanhassen as Reinholtz is able to get it on the far side. Find a man.
A little give and go there. We do have a little bit of fire going.
Yes, absolutely. As Jorgen Dietz goes down, the legs get tangled up that time.
Yeah, that was a good tackle by Chanhassen to be able to slow us down, slow the Deacons down. But now the Deacons are going to be able to set up and keep the ball on the offensive side for a little while.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity for them. They got to try and take advantage of it here. because they're not going to get a lot like this, as we've seen. So Mears, smart play that time, just trying to find Noah streaking down there. He knows that they haven't had a lot of success setting up, so he was going for the home run play. It doesn't work out for him, but I think right idea that time.
Yeah, Dietz got a head on the ball there. It just went right behind him instead of where he really wanted it to go.
Wow, another pick six by Jamestown and another huge pass by Shanley, and that game is tied 14-14 in the second quarter.
Wow, that sounds like it's going to be an offensive game.
Yeah, well, offensive for one team,
Yeah,
defensive.
yeah. Well, we got 4 scores by the Deacons. Just 2 of them have to be for Jamestown.
So Chanhassen once again trying to set up that play on the east side of the field. What an incredible pass there from Jimmy Reed. I don't know how he got so much leg on that ball with so little space.
He was jacked up when he came down there. I wonder if that wasn't a shot on goal.
Yeah,
instead
I mean,
of a pass.
It just about found its way there, too.
Yep.
Jimmy Reed is really impressed. Boy, when he gets the ball, he can make a lot happen with not a lot of time.
Yeah, and he took off down the side there, and he looks a little winded right now. He's probably going to take a little break on defense.
They really are favoring that far side of the field. Chanhassen must like what they've got over there because they've been sending their best guys over there, and they've been trying to set them up time after time.
Yeah, a lot of right-legged players, I guess.
True, yeah. And so now Chanhassen gets possession once again. It's Jack Anderson with it. Jack Anderson from that defensive position going to play it forward over to Van Bergen. Van Bergen got that one up to Varsity. They're going to move it now to the near side. With it, Feliciano. Feliciano goes straight back over to Henry, and then Henry, I think, was trying to hook up with Van Bergen.
Yeah,
maybe.
He had an errant pass there, and that's going to be a good thing for the Deacons. Deacons are, you can definitely tell the maturity level of the Deacons versus we have an offsides there.
And once again, that speed as Jimmy Reed was outrunning his man on the far side once again.
Yeah, Dietz just took off just a hair too early so that he was caught off sides.
So
go ahead.
I was just going to say 5:10 left in this one. Take it, Mr. Geoffrey, though. What are your thoughts right now?
My thoughts are that I am certainly glad you're here because the fast play of soccer, even though it's not very fast, I'm not very able to keep up with all the names and all the numbers and everything. So I'm glad you're here to tell everybody exactly who's got the ball.
Well, thank you very much. I'm glad you're here to provide some insight, as my soccer knowledge is not the best, as many of our loyal viewers know. And so Chanhassen continuing to apply the pressure here. Feliciano has been doing some good work on this near side, but Luke Noah just comes straight in.
Oh, we have an opportunity there.
Wow, what a pass. He lost it and was able to kind of salvage the play, trying to hook up with Dew. Unfortunate play, but a good attempt to keep it alive, as now Noah will keep the pressure on, going toe-to-toe with Jimmy Reed.
Yeah, Jimmy Reed ended up kicking it out of bounds just to save some of the play, and now the Deacons have an opportunity in Chanhassen end.
Quick throw in. Not going to find a Deacon. A nice play, though, to keep it alive, but only briefly that time from Dietz. Chanhassen coming straight back down. It's 4-on-4. And now Varsity looking for a man, going for Brown. It's too far ahead. Brown, though, going to use the speed to catch up. Brown and Stitch battle it out. Brown with some good moves. It'll roll out of bounds. Last touch
that's
by...
That's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, last touch by Brown, they'll say. So the Deacons still have not given up a corner there. Thought they might that time, but not the case. They continue to keep that opportunity away. Landon Oden moving in now. Nice play back to Mickelson, not trying to force anything. Mickelson was in a bit of trouble, and he makes a smart play as well. Shanley maybe just trying to go about their play a little smarter, although that time being real risky, as Sanders has it now. Sanders with 1 goal already. Might have had a second, but he got a little tripped up. I think he saw all that space, and his mind started racing with all the possibilities.
Yeah, Brown there is just cherry-picking. He's not even playing any defense. He's just waiting for a ball to get errantly passed by the Deacons. And
it's working for him.
I know, it is definitely working. We're just not able to keep enough pressure on the offensive side to keep them honest.
Yeah, Danny Brown is one of those guys I talked about. A lot of valuable experience, one of their key returners. And like you said, he just really, I think, knows the game he has to play. I think he trusts the guys around him to make sure nothing's getting by. And he just moves in there. He's like a safety in football. He's just moving in and swiping at passes, coming up with big interceptions and making plays.
Yeah. We've got an opportunity because Chanhassen is really heavy on the offensive side right now.
Well, here we go. Varsity with a great
nice
shot.
Save.
And, yeah, better save from Cam Hoff. Little one-hander there. He's able to slap it away.
That was going to go in if he did not catch that. So that was a good save. He's got 2 great saves today. 3 have gone in, but I would have to say those really weren't his fault.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those, when there's so many opportunities, especially in soccer, a goalie can only do so much, and they've just had that ball on net so many times.
Yeah, so here's our first corner kick by Chanhassen.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. They do so many other things so well. You have to imagine their corners will be pretty impressive as well. As this one takes a nice path, but the Deacons get more bodies around it. Well played by Shanley there, able to surround that ball. As now a battle ensues at about the 40-yard line there. Dew couldn't quite get to it. Chanhassen trying to keep the pressure on.
There it is. Dew has got him.
Away with the ball, and he just fires one in on net. But
if he had gotten just a little bit over, he would have caught that goalkeeper, because the goalkeeper again was caught at the 20.
Yeah, and I think Dew really had the right idea there. By this point in the game, he knows he's not going to be able to run for very long before someone catches him. I really like the play there to just take a shot.
Mm-hmm. And again, like I said earlier, Chanhassen is just playing very aggressively. They are not playing very many people back. They're playing a lot more people forward than the Deacons are, and it's paid off for them.
Ball just missed by Morley that time. He'll give chase. Tied up with Dew. Dew doing a good job trying to keep it in. Jorgen Dietz takes over. He gets that one taken away, though. Dietz couldn't keep it alive, so here goes Morley. Morley with some space, but Mears got there first. Excellent save there by Owen Mears.
Morley had just a fantastic move. 3 of them on Deacon players, and finally we had some defense that was able to kick it out of bounds so that he was not able to take that one in.
Mears well aware he's that last line of defense back there, one of the few experienced players for Shanley, making a great play. That ball just missed, though, and it's going to be just wide by Brown. I think the Deacons thought they had enough men around there. A couple guys missed their headers, and Brown almost capitalized on another mistake.
Yeah, he was able to. He almost picked that right. He picked that right out of Cam's hands. Cam Hoff's hands, and almost put it right over top of him.
Yeah, Brown just has an uncanny ability to be in the right place at the right time. And for those of you who remember watching Jake Reinholz, that was really his calling card too. Right place, right time. As now with that buzzer, we end the first half. A 3-0 lead for Chanhassen after one half of play. I think we got a couple replays of these goals. So let's see if we can get a look at them right now. And I think this is the second goal. Yeah, that's the one where Brown's just able to hop it over Hoff. And like we said, it's just Brown capitalizing on another error.
Yeah, and
here's the Reed goal. Here's the beauty in that top corner.
Wow.
That one hurts even more in slow motion, Mr. Geffrey.
I know that one reaching for the peanut butter in the top corner.
And we'll get another look at that one, yeah. There's not much more you can say. Like I said, Mickelson's right there. The whole Shanley defense is where they need to be.
And he's like 2 feet from the out-of-bounds line. So
Absolutely.
That angle there is like 170 degrees, and he's still able to put it over top.
Just crazy. So, after one, it's 3-0 Chanhassen. We'll step aside for a few minutes, but after that, we got a whole nother half of soccer to play. So don't go anywhere, folks. A lot of soccer left. Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School boys soccer action. We're getting ready for the second half of play here between the Shanley Deacons and the Chanhassen Storm. It's 3-0 after the first half in favor of Chanhassen. And Mr. Geffrey, before we start the second half off, do you have any thoughts here headed into the second?
The Deacons are going to have to play aggressively. They are just going to have to come out and leave it on the field. They can't play back on their heels. If they do so, then they'll be able to get Chanhassen to back up a little bit and play more defense. Right now, they have one, maybe even two players that are playing cherry picking, and they're just playing offense the entire game.
The one thing that might work to Shanley's advantage here, and we're going to have to see, is can Chanhassen maintain this pace of play for another 40 minutes? What they just did in that first half is a very tiring way to play soccer, and they might be conditioned enough for it, but there aren't a lot of teams who can keep that kind of strategy up.
Yeah, that does require a lot of, as they say in the mainland, a lot of fitness. The players have to be really fit in order to keep up that kind of play. And here they tried to do the give and go again and just missed it, but they're going to catch that again if they continue to play aggressive like this.
So Morley on the throw-in now. He's looking near side. Joe Mickelson right there for the Deacons, able to play it forward, and Morley's back on top of it. He's trying to get that one out of trouble. It goes through the legs of Reed. Reed able to get that one forward now. Here goes Chanhassen. Mickelson going to cut in there for the Deacons, though, and intercept. Joe Mickelson trying to keep that ball out of harm's way, but Reed will intercept once again, play it through the Deacon defense, where it will be covered up by Cam Hoff.
Nice play, nice defensive plays there. The Deacons really were anticipating how the Chanhassen players were going to be doing the give and go, and they were able to step in front of that and slow the play down.
Yeah, and I think you can really tell they've adjusted a bit. They know what side Chanhassen is attacking on. They know Jimmy Reed and Gavin Ducklow are those two big weapons. They're going to pay extra attention. That time, though, Mickelson couldn't quite get to the ball. Ducklow had some space, but the pass was too far in front, so he's going to have to settle it back down as Reed will now give it off back to Morley. Morley straight back to Reed. He's looking in the center of the field. Great curve on that pass, but it goes off the chest of Mears, and the Deacons will try and clear. Dew cutting through the middle of the field, gets around one man. In comes the Chanhassen D, though, to close the gap. Ball intercepted by Anderson. Anderson able to play that one off over to Klein. Klein to Ducklow. Ducklow back into the middle of the field, and it'll be right back into Chanhassen hands after a brief volley from the Deacons.
See, that was an opportunity there that the Deacons could have taken advantage of. Oh, good handball call. They finally called that. Chanhassen's been doing handball all game, and they finally called one.
Yeah, those are tough to see there. Just barely nicks the hand that time, but like you said, good catch there. Good catch there by the referees that time.
Deacons are, like I said, if they can play a little more aggressively, just like that. That right there was an excellent pass-through ball. Just missed. But if they had been able to connect with that, that would have been their first goal.
Well, there's that strategy we were talking about, Mr. Geffrey. Noah Nielsen coming way out in net. We've talked about how risky that is, but that's why it pays off. Luke Noah, it was a perfect ball, perfect positioning by Noah, but Nielsen comes in there and he takes away any space Noah had to work with. So, again, while it's really risky, it's just worked for him all game.
Yeah. If we can get a couple of, Dew has really taken an active role now in the center of the field. It looks like they've moved positions for him, and he's now created two opportunities for the Deacons. And if we can keep that pressure up, that's going to back the players up a little bit more. And the Chanhassen defense isn't going to play at half court or
right.
half field.
And as odd as it sounds, I kind of think Dew plays better the less space he has because he's so good at getting in and making those, physical plays in those dirty areas.
Mm-hmm.
The more bodies around him, he kind of thrives in the mud in the center of the field. And so I think that's a good place to put him. Again, that really speaks to how the Deacons are still just trying to find their identity. They're still kind of figuring out what these new guys are good at and what they're not, as that ball is going to be tracked down by Danny Brown. Could not quite get to it, though, as it rolls out.
Yeah, you can tell that the Deacons are a little winded. When the Chanhassen player took off, the Deacon players were just about a half a click behind the player. Was able to keep up with him, but just had a slight behind kind of look.
Noah Lance trying to get that one into Chanhassen territory. Won't go for him. Now Lang on the far side, sending it way across the field. He'll try to hook up with Ducklow. Mickelson, better positioning, though, able to get the head on it. It's tracked down now by Reed, who could not quite keep control. It rolls out of bounds. Chanhassen not quite getting some of those same opportunities we saw in the first half. Still, though, we're only about 4 minutes into the second. They could open this right back up once again.
Yeah, it's a really wet and muggy day, and you can certainly tell that on the players. They are just looking very wet and very like this second half here is going to be a bit of a challenge for them.
Good job by Brown that time to keep the ball alive with a header. No one was around, though, as Hoff clears upfield. Loose ball going to be tracked down this time by Varsity. Varsity works it forward. Loose ball chased down by Ducklow. He's run into by Mears, who was able to knock it away. And Mears continues to anchor that defense as Luke Noah has been playing up. Mears has had to assume that kind of top dog role on the back line, and he's done an excellent job of it.
Yeah, there's been a couple of times when he's had to take on those major forces on the Chanhassen side, and he's been able to keep up with them for the time being.
So looks like we'll have a throw-in on the far side here. Or actually, maybe it will be a throw-in right about where the corner kick area is.
Yeah, we've had another one. We've had other ones down there. Throw-in makes it a lot harder for the offense to be able to get underneath it. A corner kick gives the opportunity for a lot more opportunities. But, here's an excellent opportunity for the Deacons.
Yeah, Noah.
They need to keep it going. Nice pass.
Great
nice
passing from Noah that time to set up Jace Dew trying to get it through, and it just won't go for him that time. Nellermo circles back. Nothing there. Now coming back the other way was Reed. Jimmy Reed couldn't quite get through the Deacon midfield. Now we got a flurry for both teams as Nellermo had it taken away once again by Reed, who's just going to try and play it back to Nielsen. Nielsen got a foot on it and sent it out of bounds. So not quite played how Chanhassen wanted it there. That's a good series for Shanley.
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier, Jed. That aggressive play that causes the Chanhassen players to have to play something they're not comfortable with, and they get back on their heels, and that caused a fault on the Chanhassen defense, and now we have corner kick for the Deacons.
Yeah, it'll be Nellermo to take this corner. Another big opportunity for Shanley. They had one earlier. They were unable to capitalize on. Let's see what they can do here. Nellermo sends it away. It's short, kept it low. Not much going there, but it does take a nice bounce back to him. He's going to pop it up now, and just not quite on the money. It'll end up out of bounds over the net. So, good opportunity, good pressure applied for the Deacons, but nothing comes of it. Chanhassen continues to stand strong in their back end.
Yeah, they. But I was really encouraged by that set. Like this right here, we now have even more opportunities because the Deacons have more people in the box, more people on the offensive side, and it gives just more opportunity to catch the ball on an errant pass or on a bounce.
Yeah, great work by Nellermo that time, trying to hook up with Noah. They couldn't quite get it done, but like you said, they're just getting more pressure on. They're just doing a better job on the whole here offensively as that ball goes over the head of Odin. Nellermo trying to keep it in play. Chanhassen going to move it along. Nice little ball off the shoulder that time.
Yeah, that's supposed to be a handball. Shoulders are not allowed, but...
and there's a great setup from Brown, able to find a man, but it's offsides.
Yep. Yeah, that right there, could tell that was offsides. He was offsides by about two or three steps.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for C.J. Claggett. He was right there. Great positioning, great through ball from Brown, and like you said, just 2 or 3 steps off. So Owen Mears will boot this one away for the Deacons with 31-35 left here in the second. He's
nice kick.
Going to find Noah maybe a step or two behind. It was a nice kick, though. They're unable to capitalize, though. Chanhassen coming back the other way. Anderson had it, but Reinholtz takes it away. Evan Reinholtz trying to hook up with Nellermo. There's nothing there, though, as he was boxed out nicely by Reed, who circles back to it and moves it along the near side. Ball bouncing up to Mickelson. Mickelson trying to keep this flurry alive. He's stymied that time by Brown. The pressure applied by Sanders, and Mears will try to get it right back down.
Nice.
Here
nice
goes
pass.
Noah. He's got some space, and Nielsen again. The aggression of Noah Nielsen. The guts from that goalkeeper are just incredible.
Yeah, if he had just a second too late, he would have gotten that ball right over his head, but he's going to make a mistake one of these times, and Shanley's going to score on this, but it has been aggressive play by the Deacons on the second half.
And that's got to be the second or third time that we've seen a beautiful, long-range pass just out of the reach to Luke Noah, where the goalkeeper gets in there and takes away just at the last second. I mean, they've run that play perfectly, except Nielsen has been just too far out to get around.
We had a foul on Chanhassen, so another opportunity for the Deacons with a long kick.
So Mears will take this one. Great ball, accurate, low, but it was the head of a Chanhassen player that got on it. Lang that time was able to break it up. Now this ball going way back the other way. Good job, though, by Mason Bohm, trying to keep it alive for Shanley. Lance got back there. Bohm is there once again to try and put it back deep in Chanhassen territory, but Lang continues to advance it. Klein coming forward now. Stitch able to play it away. Volley in the middle of the field. Neither team can break through. They continue to go back and forth, but now it's Dew who comes away with it. Noah off to the races. Can he close the gap? Once again, it's Nielsen who gets there first. Still not out of trouble. It will be cleared now by Jimmy Reed. Chanhassen trying to reverse the situation. Brown gaining on Mears. Mears, though, able to maintain that lead and follow that ball right out of bounds.
We have a substitution. We have 16 that's taken off. That would be Vichet.
16, that's Cam Vasagi.
Vasagi, okay.
And so 29-10 remaining here, and we do have an update from that Jamestown-Shanley game. 20-14 Jamestown at the half. Touchdown pass from Falk to Williams for Jamestown gives them the lead.
Oh, so there was some offense on the Jamestown side.
Yeah, they do get a touchdown from the offense, and pretty impressive performance from Jamestown to start off here. It should be interesting to see what Shanley can do in the second half in that game. Meanwhile, in the second half of this one, the Deacons are looking better, but they still can't find the scoreboard with 28:41 to go.
Quick pass in by the Deacons to try and take advantage of some weak defensive play by Chanhassen. But
Mears got too aggressive there maybe, but a great job there by Mason Bohm. That might be the first time I've seen one of these Deacons win a foot race like that. Bohm was able to get ahead of Nesberg that time and get that ball out of danger.
Yeah, the Deacons have a opportunity here. Oh, we did get a yellow card on number 20. Jake Nesberg, he ended up kicking the ball out of bounds further and ends up getting a yellow card for that.
It's a tough break there for Chanhassen. Nesberg probably, I didn't even see it, to be honest. Usually in situations like that, though, either a quick moment of frustration or sometimes just kind of forgetting what you're doing and just playing it right through out of bounds. So he'll take a seat. There should be a sub in for him.
Yep, number 3, Lobser.
Yeah, Kyle Laubser will come in place of Nesberg. And so Chanhassen goes straight back to work, though. Brown has it in the middle of the field. Great ball intended for Sanders. Even better defensive play, though, by Mickelson. Almost a disaster there for the Deacons, but they stand tall. Hoff comes in to seal that gap. Mickelson did a great job getting in there as well. Great job by Mickelson. Especially considering, he got burned earlier, but he's really improved since very early on in the game. He's been doing a good job.
Yeah, this will be the second corner kick for Chanhassen, and we have a good opportunity for them to score.
So here's the corner for the Storm, and that one is found by Mears, sent right back in, though, by Anderson. Anderson going to get try number 2, and that one won't go. Ball still kept alive that time by Laubser, and now it'll be cleared. Lang checks it straight back. Off the head of Anderson, loose ball out in front. Brown tried to get to it. It's loose. Hoff couldn't cover up, but he gets it on the second effort.
That right there was an excellent effort by Hoff. He made a choice, and it was the right one, but he barely made it.
Hoff maybe taking a cue from Nielsen that time, coming out and playing aggressive. He's been fairly aggressive, though, in his own right, doing a good job closing gaps. Loose ball at the 50. It's going to bounce in front of Oden. Oden with a nice play trying to find Nellermo, but then who else but Jimmy Reed to come in there and take it away. Nellermo just didn't have the speed that time to keep away from Reed.
Yeah, Reed bounces that off of Nellermo's foot and has a throw-in for Chanhassen.
26-37 remaining now.
Now that we have just a little bit of a break, we'd like to say hello to all of our listeners from across the country, including some listeners we heard are listening to us in Chicago.
Always happy to have people listening from all over. We've hit all 50 states and multiple countries, which is always fun to see. So thank you guys for tuning in wherever you are. And if you would like to get a shout out, please contact us on social media. You can find Shanley TV on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Brown, meanwhile, pulling off a great move as he slides on the pass there, trying to hook up with Laubser. Laubser just out of reach of that pass, though, as now Jimmy Reed's back on top of this ball with Nellermo trailing. Reed looks forward, taking his time. Through ball that time intercepted by Dew. Dew's ball off the head of a Chanhassen defender, and now they're going back the other way. The Storm continuing to advance, and now Anderson's at the 40. Nice little pass. Noah Lance tried to close the gap, was a hair short, but he did a good job taking away the angle, as Giles had to just send that one down to no one deep in Shanley territory.
Yeah, Shanley has played a lot more aggressively, and it has shown in the kind of defense Chanhassen has had to play. They have not been able to play as many people forward. That was just a handball there. Did not get away with that one. That was a good call by the official. So Shanley here with the free kick.
Yeah, the Deacons really have stepped up their play. Like you said, they've been more aggressive, and it just feels like they've been more confident. Play just certainly has improved as this game has gone on. But is it too late for them? They've got plenty of time, 25 minutes here, but they're going to have to get something on the board soon. Even if they can't get this one tied or take the lead, it'd be great just to get a goal before this one's over.
I think that's the goal right now.
Yeah.
3 goals is really a difficult hole to dig yourself out of. At this point, you take every effort, every win that you can get, and a goal would be a win right now.
Just get the monkey off your back this
Exactly.
season, for sure. So I do think we'll have a Chanhassen throw in now. It'll be Brown. Danny Brown throwing this one in. Keeps it low and short. Trying to play that one back over to Reed. Reed, beauty of a ball up in the air. They'll try to get the header. It won't go. Claggart got in there. Loose ball. Hoff's on the ground. They're trying to put it in just wide. They did a great job creating chaos out in front of the net, but they couldn't quite finish. That was Claggart there on the effort, along with a couple other Storm players.
Yeah, that was almost just good luck. He ended up kicking it just wide, and it's a goal kick for Shanley High School. But that was an excellent opportunity for Chanhassen. They provided themselves with that by putting all those bodies in there, just like I've been saying the Deacons have had to do. Chanhassen's been very good at putting a lot of bodies on the ball when needed.
Yeah, and Hoff came out, tried to be aggressive like we talked about, and it worked at first, but that second effort he almost got burned on, so that's the thing. You just got to be so careful. Nielsen has had the benefit. He's never had too many bodies out there to get a rebound, so when he comes out and plays as aggressive as he does, he can usually count on one of his defensive players to clean up anything he leaves behind.
We have a substitute coming in. It looks like number your eyes are going to have to catch this one, Jed.
We have a couple subs coming onto the field right now. Jordan Miranda will check back in along with
Alex Linster.
Yeah, it looks like we have a 5 out there listed on the JV roster, so Linster going to get some varsity time here. That's certainly a nice benefit in some of these games, like we talked about, 3-0 tough lead, but there's some time left to get some valuable experience for, like we said, a very young team.
For your Deacons, number 5, Carter Jager.
Battle in the middle of the field there as this ball is going to come back to the Shanley defense. Stitch is on top of it. Stitch now looking up the right side, trying to give off to Miranda. It's just out of reach, though. And so that one will roll out. Quick throw in now for Chanhassen, trying to pounce on the opportunity here, maybe catch a few subs with some unadjusted legs here, try and catch them after they've been on the bench for a while, but nothing happens there for the Storm.
We might have a mistake on our thing. Sounds like Carter Jagger is playing in number 5 right now, not Linster.
Okay.
We'll try and get that clarified.
Yeah. All right, so Carter Jagger, excuse us, is out on the field. Good catch there. Linster not the case, not the one out there. We got 21:53 left to go in this game as Mears will play that one out of bounds. Throw in now for Jimmy Reed. Reed with the throw-in off the head of Brown. Brown and Mears volley with a couple headers there. Luke Noah has it now on the near side. Noah, great little pass over to Dew. Dew trying to connect with Dietz. Jorgen Dietz gets outrun that time, though. Excellent defense played that time by Morley. Loose ball here in the Chanhassen zone. Shanley's got an opportunity. Another good clear, but the ball is held in by Jagger. Jagger does a nice job that time. And now here comes Bohm. Mason Bohm couldn't get it through. Evan Reinhold's back on top of it. And that ball loose at the 40. Chanhassen in a little bit of trouble here. They've been facing some pressure. They're going to try to get the clear. Doesn't quite make it all the way in there, but they do have possession once again. So Chanhassen just going to try to set up now, I think.
Yeah, if Chanhassen would go back to playing their ball, and that is pass, pass, pass. And yes, it is Carter Jagger is using shirt number 5 tonight.
Okay, so we got that clarified. Meanwhile, Brown curls around on the far side. He tried to get in there. Chanhassen wanting a call maybe that time. They won't get it, but like we said, it's been called pretty loose here. Although...
Oh, looks like we have another
Yeah.
yellow card on number 10.
So that will be Brown. So he'll, I think, actually get the yellow card perhaps for his response to the no call that he felt should have been a call. And good work there. Good work there from Stephen Klein to just get in there and help get Brown out of there. And that's always tough, you know, especially in high school sports, trying to keep the emotions tight in in situations like that. So they'll pick up the yellow, and given the score of the game and the impact Brown has had, I imagine he'd probably sit for the rest of this. You know, no point in putting him back in. One of your best players. Don't want to have him pick up another yellow and get suspended or get hurt or anything.
Yeah, 2 yellows, that makes a red, and then that's a sit in the next game as well.
So I imagine we'll see them do what Shanley has been doing here and maybe start to sprinkle in some of those younger guys. Has got 20 minutes left. 3-goal lead, and honestly not impossible. I mean, 20 minutes is a lot of time, but from what we've seen out of Shanley, we're really going to have to see a change here. We're going to have to see some sort of ability to finish.
Yeah, we've been able to do little skirmishes into the territory, get close to the goal, but then Chanhassen's been able to come up with the ball, use their great ball handling skills to clear the ball out or take control, and then bring us back out to half field again.
Yeah, you know, Shanley, I still feel like they've continued to make progress as this game has gone on, but it's just been too slow. You know, they never really kind of flipped the switch and that they really needed to. They gained some ground, but they never opened the floodgates here against Chanhassen. That Chanhassen defense, we've talked so much about their offense. Got to tip the cap to this defense, especially Christian Lang. He has been everywhere for them, keeping the ball, you know, well out of their territory.
Yeah, and the goalkeeper. He has played really aggressively, but it has paid off for him so far. And he has not had many shots on goal because he has played so aggressively.
And sometimes, you know, it can be hard to make an impact as a goalkeeper in soccer. I mean, when you face so few shots, a pretty big net where sometimes your saves are really just guesswork. So for Nielsen to play out like he does and strategize like he does, that's a sign of a really good goalkeeper to me, someone who can process the game, you know, in maybe a non-traditional goalkeeper sense. He does a good job of not being tied down to his usual role.
Yeah. Right now he's sitting at about the 20-yard line again. And
he's just waiting.
Yeah, just waiting for the ball to come in. If we had a shooter, we could get it over his head.
And again, like we talked about, Shanley just does not have that guy as of yet, that guy they've identified to take those shots, as Lang is going to try and move this one back deep into Shanley territory. Not much going there. Miranda putting good pressure on him. So what will he do? He'll play it right back to Nielsen, the goalkeeper. Going to try and reset things for Chanhassen as he'll give off now to Morley. Morley with pressure from Nellermo, and Nellermo taps that one out of bounds. He'll watch it roll out.
Yeah, he tried to tap that one to himself, and just a little bit far. Thank you, Jed, for having me here tonight. This has been a wonderful treat again. I know I called a softball game last year, and I'm all too glad to help out when the students are off doing other activities.
Oh, well, thank you, Mr. Geffrey. It's been great to have you. Like I said, you've got some more soccer knowledge than me that's been pretty useful. And, yeah, you know, when you can't get the students, got volleyball and football out of town and soccer playing right now. So always a treat to have you come help us out, as that ball's going to be headed back over to John Morley. That's another name that maybe hasn't made a ton of flashy plays, but Morley's just one of those guys who's been wherever they need him. 17:30 left. Nellermo looking for the throw-in. We got a whistle, though, and some substitutions.
Number 4, Joe Mickelson.
Joe Mickelson going to check back in. Mason Bohm will take a seat. Bohm's had a nice game for the Deacons.
He's had a nice game. He could probably play a little more aggressively, but I think he's starting to come out of his shell. And if that coach can just encourage him to play that aggressive play that he was doing in the second half here, I think we can get a lot more out of him.
Absolutely. Definitely a guy showing a lot of potential. Bohm, the junior from Oak Grove. Good opportunity here now as Sanders has the ball for Chanhassen. Awesome backwards pass. Able to hook up that time with Claggett, who put that one too high and too far right, and he could tell he wanted that one back. Still, though, good job with a shot from fairly far out.
Yeah, you can really tell that I don't do this very often, Jed. I continue to use the word we, and, that
well,
right there is
just a big
broadcasting.
fan, Mr. Geffrey.
I
Come
know.
on.
I'm just a big fan, big Deacon fan. I've been here a long time. This is who I cheer for.
And so Shanley, meanwhile, trying to get that goal. That'd be so huge for them. You really, if you're Shanley, just got to be hoping for that one goal because we've talked so much about, maybe some confidence issues here. Mm-hmm. If they could just get one in, I think the amount of relief they would feel would just be...
I think, it's like you said, that monkey on
Absolutely.
your back. It is like Steve Young did when he
Yep.
won his first Super Bowl. He walked over somebody and said, "Can somebody take this monkey off my back?"
Absolutely, and so my guess is that's what the Deacons are going to try to do here. I'd like to see them, go even more all out for that play, a little more aggressive, because at this point, I don't think you care if you let in another goal or two if you can at least get one for yourself. And maybe that's what we're seeing here as they're trying to put the pressure on now.
Yeah, at a 9-0 ratio, it's really not going to change your standings in the EDC.
Right,
if you leave out
game.
another goal.
Great job by Mears there. Great closing speed to get in there, but we might have a foul now going against Chanhassen, they will say. Mears got tied up with Cusick, and they both kind of were pushing and shoving there, and they'll give that one to Cusick. They'll catch him there. But Mears, real impressive. Mears and Noah seem to be the two that really have had the kind of speed to compete with Chanhassen in this game.
Oh, we had. I thought Shanley had an extra opportunity there with Luke Noah down the sideline. He was able to almost close in on the ball as it just skittered out of bounds in front of him.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen Noah, open in the Chanhassen zone and just been an inch or two away from a great opportunity? That's been frustrating, I'm sure, for him.
Mm-hmm. The defense on Chanhassen has been stellar. They have been closing in around the Deacon players. Really difficult for those Deacon players to be able to dribble through three players. The passing, though, has been much improved. There's a nice pass down to Nellermo in the corner.
And Nellermo is going to get caught up there by Morley. Good centering pass, though. He had a do wide open, and that's really what you want to see. You need more of that if you're Shanley, but at least you're seeing some of it now.
Yeah, that aggressive play again. If you're not aggressive, you're not going to get any chances. And really, soccer is about just presenting yourself with chances.
Sanders trying to close in on this one, trying to work his way around Mears. Owen Mears, though, continuing to stand tall.
That is, he has really stepped up on the defense because Joe Mickelson has been playing a lot more aggressive up front, and so it's nice to see that Owen has been able to take over where Joe has been forward a little bit.
Absolutely, and then those are the roles they ask him to play. Usually it's Mickelson playing kind of forward, more middle of the field, and Luke Noah hanging back, locking it down. When they moved Noah up, they left Mickelson kind of in that offensive role, and they just had Mears slide in there, and seamless transition. Real good sight to see for Shanley to have Owen Mears playing that well.
We have another substitution. Van Bergen is back in again.
Yeah, he was real productive for Chanhassen when he was in, but there have been so many guys like that for the Storm. Really, it seems like everyone they put out there has had a positive role today as that ball's checked forward. Will give chase, but easily cleared by Nielsen.
That was a good thought. They had a lot of there's been a lot of those kinds of chances, and it was just a little bit of miscommunication is all. With Shanley being such a young team and not having enough of opportunity to really gel as a team, they'll get more opportunities like that once they start dialing in just how fast somebody can be and just how far I should kick it right in front of him.
And one area where they've certainly improved in this game alone, the first 20 minutes, you could even say the first half, Chanhassen really passed at will. They were these short, crisp, really pretty passes that set up a lot of chances. It almost felt like they were on a power play in hockey. They were just moving the ball at will. And Shanley has really not allowed that in the second half. They've made things much more uncomfortable, which is something they're going to have to do. So that's a good sight to see.
I think that's exactly what Shanley needs to start doing as well in their other games is really harassing the people with the ball, not allowing those crisp passes, getting involved with the pass, getting involved with the passing lanes. And that is why Chanhassen has not had any or very few opportunities in the second half to score a goal.
That ball going to take a big bounce out of bounds. And so while we have a quick break, folks, we want to take a minute to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at shanleyathletic.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button, or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today, the Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level.
We had an opportunity there.
Yes, we did.
That opportunity by Nellermo, I think he took the shot just a little too soon. He maybe could have dribbled that one in just a couple of more to make the goalkeeper make a choice of whether he's going to come out or not. But the Chanhassen players, again, they were closing again on defense. And, our players are just not as confident about their passing and scoring skills as the Chanhassen players are.
Hey, maybe Nellermo put that one wide for me, Mr. Geffrey, because he knows how disappointed I would have been if I had been doing an ad read when we got our first goal, or when they got their first goal, excuse me.
Exactly. He's very nice that way.
But yeah, so another good opportunity for Shanley, like you said. I mean, it's better this half, but it's just, not quite what they wanted. And that's, they knew the risk coming into this game. Scheduling Chanhassen is certainly scheduling up for Shanley. Playing a big, cities team like this is always going to be a challenge. There was certainly, though, some mystery, losing so many players. There was a chance Chanhassen wasn't going to be quite as good. But if you're Chanhassen, looking at it from their perspective, let's kind of shift over there. I think you got to be really happy with what you've seen here tonight.
Yeah, Chanhassen has had some great opportunities early in the game. I think they've stepped back a little bit and are trying to maybe play that the game a little easier. I think if they were to step it up a little bit, though, I'm not sure. I think the Deacons would now be able to take some more advantage of that. But Chanhassen has really handled the defense well.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing to me is we talked about losing 8 starters and losing 35 of your 41 goals last year. To have the kind of chemistry they've had in game number 1, because keep in mind, this is their first game of the season, that's just so impressive to me to be able to, it just seems like such a seamless transition for them.
Yeah, I think...
oh, well, look at this. We got an opportunity. Noah, oh, man! Hooked up with Dew that time, and it just went off the foot of Dew. Couldn't get a better opportunity there if you tried. That's just tough for Shanley. It's so close. It's just the finishing.
Yeah.
Just snake bitten.
Yeah. The Shanley has really had a lot more opportunities in the second half because they've been aggressive, because they've been able to give themselves opportunities. You can't get opportunities if you don't have the ball down on the offensive side. Chanhassen knew that early in the game. Now Chanhassen is starting to struggle a little bit because they're letting a lot of balls come behind them. And here's another mistake by Chanhassen.
Yeah, we talked about, gassing out when you play such a high pace of play, and that might be what we're seeing here. Now, of course, with just 8 minutes to go, maybe a little too late, but still, that's something for Chanhassen to perhaps work on, and a good sign for Shanley as, once again, the Storm get a good clear. Not all the way, though. Reinhold's intercepts. Mears going to come forward now, a bit more of an offensive role. They're able to keep it alive to Miranda. Miranda on the far side goes back to Mears. Mears trying to get the corner, staying alive. Great plays by Mears here, but now we got a whistle. And I don't know if that went out of bounds.
That was a free kick.
Yeah,
that one's a free kick. The 11 on
Yeah,
Chanhassen
that's Braden
side,
Sanders got caught up.
Yeah, he was kicking on his feet, and you got to catch the ball. If you're going to kick at the feet, you got to get the ball first.
Loose ball out in front won't find its way there, and that's what's so tough about playing defense in soccer. You know, it's like defense in basketball. You got to get the ball, you can't be getting the arms. Soccer,
Yep.
you got to be getting the ball, you can't be getting the feet. And Sanders at time did a good job locking down, but like you said, a little too much feet.
Yep, and that opportunity there was another great opportunity for Shanley, and you know, these opportunities are really going to be beneficial eventually.
For sure.
The Shanley students, the Shanley team is going to get the opportunities if they can keep up this aggression, and if they can keep the Chanhassen players from getting the ball on the offensive side.
And the other part of it is you won't be playing a Chanhassen every week. A lot of these opportunities they've had, I think, if you have them against some of their more regular opponents, have a better likelihood of going in. Chanhassen is certainly, I think, such a high-caliber team. You know, I think, like I said, I think these opportunities maybe in a different game would be going in for them, which is good.
Yeah.
It's a good sign going forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, and, you know, we've had only a few shots on goal, but the things that I'm liking a lot are the balls that have been able to get past the defense. The defense has looked a little the Chanhassen defense has looked a little flat-footed, and the Shanley players have been able to take advantage of that. And if Shanley can continue with that kind of play in this game and games coming forward, I think that we'll have better opportunities later on and we'll get more goals. How is that football game coming along there, Jed?
Still 20-14 at the half. I haven't seen any updates yet, but we'll try and keep you informed on that if we see anything else. Meanwhile, that ball is going to go out of bounds. Shanley still looking here. They can certainly sense it. Chanhassen has not had the ball. You know, they've continued to play good defense, but they really haven't had the ball on the other side of the field at all in the last 10 or so minutes. So
yeah.
So that's a good sign for the Deacons, maybe wearing them out a bit more here. Final 5 minutes, see if they can't make one more push.
Yeah, the Deacons have had a lot more opportunities, and there's Dew again.
Yeah, Dew is one player who's had a really good second half. He's one of those guys where I think it shows it's just been such a long time since he played soccer. He seems to have so many of the instincts down. He seems to be in the right spot. It's just some of the more mechanical things, you know, that it's going to take a while to get back into the swing of.
He does have that eye. He was able to pass the ball down the sides to people that were on the sprint, and just out of reach for them. I think if he can get his skills down a little bit better later in the season, we'll see some better opportunities.
Absolutely got to shake off that rust as this ball is checked down. Back deep into the Storm territory, Nielsen collect it with his feet, and then give that one off to Feliciano. Feliciano able to work that one back over, and now an opportunity as Luke Noah's moving in. He tries to swing that one back. No one home, though, except Nesberg for Chanhassen, and now it's looking like a breakout for the Storm. As Reisenauer is moving around on the far side, he gets run out of bounds, though. Good work there by Noah Lance, able to force that ball out.
Noah Lance really, he played very hard, and he was the one that caused that out of bounds for Shanley. That was a really good play by him.
For sure, Lance kind of showing a hockey player, Noah Lance, showing some of that there, kind of working him along the boards as you would in hockey.
Indeed.
Good physicality there from the senior, as we'll get a throw in now from Stitch. This is Kyle Stitch now. And that's just popped up. Chanhassen continues to bend and not break. That's really been their second half.
We have a corner kick for Shanley, though. An excellent opportunity here. We've had some good corner kicks in the past. Corner kicks are you're not going to score on every one of them, but we've had some good opportunities.
It's the young fellow, Drew Beiswinger, the freshman. He gets
nice
that one in.
It's goal!
Luke Noah breaks the ice, gets the first goal of the season for Shanley, and how about that? Fitting player to get it, and exactly what we said needed to happen. Shanley gets their first goal. You get to do your goal call. Check an item off your bucket list.
Thank you. Yes. Listening to Premier Soccer and South American soccer, you get all those really exciting goal calls, and thank you for that one. That was once in a lifetime experience.
Absolutely. And just a great goal there for Shanley. That's just so huge. And I think that's great for Luke Noah, team leader there, to get it too with a real nice header too. And now look at this, a good spark for the Deacons as Dew moves in and gets tripped up there.
Yeah, this is a real spark. They are really playing hard right now. They're leaving it all on the field.
And what's even nicer here, Mr. Geffrey, if they can get the last goal of the game, I think that just leaves such a better taste in your mouth going forward, for the next couple games here. To end your last game, even if it's a loss, to get the last goal, that's just a real nice feeling. And look at this, another opportunity.
Oh,
Luke
that was
Noah.
an excellent in by Noah Lance.
Yeah.
That right there was a very good opportunity, and just a little bit off the mark. If he had gotten that just 2 feet towards was that Noah?
Yeah, that was Noah Lance to Luke Noah.
Luke Noah.
And again, I think it was Noah Nielsen coming out of his box there to take it away that really took the opportunity away that time. But yeah, like you said, really impressive play there from Noah Lance, all things considered, looking at his soccer experience. That ball worked on the far sideline as Chanhassen now, I think, is just looking to escape here. They took the foot off the gas, took some of their starters, some of their better players out here as we got a man down at the 50, no call. But Chanhassen just looking to get out of this one now. Shanley looking to maybe try and sneak another one in here, build off that goal. And we should add, Drew Beiswinger was the man on the corner kick there. Just a freshman. He's been taking Shanley's corners for the most part. I believe he got the direct assist on the goal. That's a real good sign for the Deacons. Great play from the freshman.
Yeah, that was an excellent goal, excellent kick as well. Those corner kicks are not as easy as you would think, because you got to put those in the right place, and you got to know exactly where your players are going to be when you kick it.
So 45 seconds left to go here. It's 3-1 after the Luke Noah goal. Ball moves up field, way down into the Chanhassen zone. Erickson will get to it first. He'll pop it right back. Both teams just going to try and play keep away for the remaining 30 seconds now as Evan Reinholtz has it. That gets lost in the feet of a Chanhassen player that time. It was Van Bergen. Van Bergen moving it right back down as Mears will take it away, though. Owen Mears continuing his solid game of defense. 14 seconds left. Throwing down deep into Chanhassen territory. Will roll out of bounds as 10 seconds tick off the clock, and Chanhassen will seal the deal here on a 3-1 win to kick their season off, and the Deacons drop to 0-3.
It's 0-3, but I think the Deacons have something to be proud of here. They have shown that they know they know what they need to do. Come out a little more aggressively, and they kept Chanhassen from scoring in the second half, and were able to put one on the board for themselves. So if we take the second half of the game, they have a win, 1-0. But the whole game, Chanhassen takes it this time.
So let's see what we have for replays here. This was just a close call goal. That was the one that made it to Jace Dew. It was a little bit behind him, got caught in the legs, but here's the goal, the one that broke through for Shanley. Luke Noah with the beauty of a header just over Nielsen. Of course, wish we had the audio for that goal, Mr. Geffrey.
Yeah,
that's
I
the
know.
real highlight.
Yeah.
I gotta say, hey, if you go viral for the goal call, I'm just gonna say I called it.
Okay. That right there, though, the goal, that was all those two students.
Yeah, Noah and Beiswinger.
Yeah,
just
it's
beautiful.
almost like they had a connection.
It really was, and that's, like I said, so encouraging because you really said it. That's such a mature play from a freshman. Corners require not just so much skill, so much strategy, and for Beiswinger to put that right where it needed to be, a guy like Noah is going to be able to track that down.
Mm-hmm.
So, looking for the bright spots in a loss here. You're playing a very tough team, but you get that first goal. You see some promising signs. Your thoughts going forward on the season for Shanley?
Well, I like the play of the second half. I really wish they could do that in the first half. Mm-hmm. I do know that's going to require a lot more fitness. I was starting to see some people start to put their hands on their hips in the second half, like with 30 seconds left in the game. They left it all on the field. Mm-hmm. Now I'm hoping that they can do that for a whole game instead of just a half.
For sure. So that will do it, a 3-1 victory here for Chanhassen. Before we go, we'll be back on the air next week, Thursday, with next week, Tuesday, with volleyball. And I believe we'll be back. We'll be back next week, starting on Tuesday, and then we'll have football for you on Friday. No update on the score from Jamestown, 20-14 last we heard in favor of Jamestown. For this game, though, for tonight, for Mr. Geffrey and for our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo: Shanley Deacons 1, Chanhassen Storm 3. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to shanleytv.com. The proceeding has been a presentation.